Here is Jesus. He's going into Jerusalem to the feast of the Passover. He has to pass the sheep market. Now the sheep market is a place where they brought the sheep, where they kept the sheep, and where they sold the sheep. And next to the sheep market there was a pool. And this pool was used to wash from the ceremonial pollutions prior into going into worship. It is here now in verse 2 that the writer describes the pool. He calls it by name. He said it is the pool of Bethesda. In the Hebrew tongue, it means the pool of mercy or house of mercy. In the Greek tongue, it means the house of grace. And then he goes to describe it by its physical look. He said that there was 5 porches in the pool. Now the number 5 is very significant, for it is the number of grace. When I looked at the Bible and I was studying the Word, I said, well, here, yeah, the grace is in the New Testament. But God said, no, look back at the number 5. When I looked back at the number 5, I saw that there was 5 books of Moses. Then I saw that there was 5 major sacrifices. Then I saw there was 5 different animals used in those sacrifices. Then I looked at the tabernacle and I saw that there were 5 pillars to the entrance of the tabernacle. Then I looked at the furniture. There was 5 pieces of furniture inside the tabernacle. And then I looked at Jesus. Here he was on Calvary. They pierced him 4 times. When the soldier came along and thought he was doing something, he pierced him in his side, which was the 5th time. And when he pierced him in his side, out came the water and out come the blood, just signifying that grace is bestowed upon the people of the world. Oh my God. Not only that, but then I saw he gave us 5 senses. Then I looked around and he gave us 5 toes and 5 fingers on our hands. And when I look at my hands and I look at my feet, that means I have running in my feet and clapping in my hands, because I know it is by grace am I saved. Oh, somebody give God praise in here. Here. And now he tells us of the type of people that were gathered around the pool. He said, look, he talks about the kind were gathered and the kind that congregated, the kind that assembled themselves. He said it was the impotent folk. These were folk that were powerless. These were folk that were helpless. These were folk that were incapable. These were folk that were unable. And so specifically, they were blind, they were halt, and they were withered. And then he talks about the number. There was not a few of them there, but he said it was a great multitude there. They weren't there just to hang out, but they were there to be blessed by God. And not only were they there, but they came with great expectations. Why? Because they had already saw what God can do. Whenever I come to the house of God, I come with great expectations. Why do I come with great expectations? Because I found out he is the God of abundance. He is the God of plenty. He is the God of overflow. He is the God of more than enough. He is the God that can do exceedingly abundantly above all I can ask to think. He is the God that supplies all my needs. And so when I come into the church, I come into church to lead with an increase. I don't come in to go out the same way I came in. When I come into church, I come in to have my borders widened. I come in to have my depths deepened. I come in to have my portions doubled. When I come into the church, I come in looking to be blessed. Why do I come with great expectation? Because I see them do it over and over and over again. And I found out, like the song said, he can keep on doing it because he is the God of an encore. Somebody give him praise in here. He's able to do it over and over and over. Here now, they came with this great expectation. And here the Lord has set up a system to bless them or to heal them of whatever affliction they had.
Yes.
Here there were 2 things considered in the system. Number 1, they couldn't just come when they wanted, but they had to come when the angel troubled the water. They had to come when the water was moved by the angel. They had to come when it was stirred up. They had to come at a specific time in a specified season. The second thing was, in addition to their coming, they had to be the first one to step down into the water, or they had to be the first one to get to the place. Consequently, see, although they were healed, their blessing depended upon them being in a certain place at a certain time. That was the system that Jesus set up. And so here now, here is Jesus. He's on his way into the temple. He's among the great multitude, and Jesus sees this man. Now he calls our attention to this man, but he doesn't call it by name. He calls our attention to the man by his condition and the number of years that he was in the condition. Not only does Jesus call him or see him physically, but he knows how long he's been in that state. Isn't it good to know that God knows all about you? He knows how long you've been going through. He knows how long you've been suffering. And so here, when it comes to that, this man was in there for 38 years. In the book of John, there was a blind man who was blind all of his life. In the book of Luke, there was a woman that was bent over for 18 years. There was a woman that had a blood disease for 12 years. Then there was Lazarus who was in the grave dead 4 days. Then Jairus' daughter was dead for a few hours. Isn't it good to know it does not matter how long you were in a condition, but when Jesus shows up, he can change the condition, because who the Son set free is free indeed. I wonder if anybody in here ever had Jesus show up and change your condition. There's so much so, you said, when I looked at my hands, they look new. I looked at my feet, they did too. Oh, what a change in my life. And so here now, here it is in this case. It is this case now that is one of the longest situations or condition one was in. Yet it's in this same case entails the shortest dialogue of healing in the Bible. Jesus speaks to the man. He says, listen, wilt thou be made whole? Ah, my God. He comes up and speaks grace to the man. It signified not only by what he said, but the little words that he used. He used 5 words again. Wilt thou be made whole? Then the man answers and says, sir, I have nobody to put me in the water when it is troubled. He speaks to his situation. He cannot walk. Now you got to understand this. Somebody brings the man to the pool every time the season comes. They bring him to the pool, but they don't stay there with the man. They leave him at the pool. Isn't it something how when people will come only so far, when you have a condition, they'll go with you a little way. When you have a condition, then they'll go about their business. That's why I like Jesus. He said, listen, I'm not just going to go about my business, but you are my business. He said, you might be in a condition, but I'm going to tell you something. I've got an assurance. I'll never leave you and just bring you. I'll never leave you nor forsake you, but I'll be with you through the thick and the thin. I'll be with you through troubled waters. I'll be with you when other folk leave. I'll be with you when they talk about you. I'll be with you when they lie on you. I'll be with you when you fall down. I'll be with you and help you up. I'll be with you in the midnight hour. I'll be with you in a sick bed. I'll be with you in a courtroom. I'll be with you because you are my business. Here now. He explains this case to Jesus. He said, when I'm coming another step down, I'm trying, and I've been trying time after time, and season after season. But while I'm giving it all that I have, somebody else gets to the place before I get to the place. Imagine how he felt. My God, he can't get to the water. How it must have felt to see others being blessed in the water. Some of us have been there. You know how it feels. You desire a house. Others get the house. You desire a job. Others get the job. My God. And so here now, nevertheless, look at this man. There is a hope in this man. Even though they leave him, he never stopped asking whoever it was to keep bringing him. That's why this man, he has a hope. And Titus said, when we have a blessed hope, it'll keep you looking for the glorious appearing of our great God. Anybody know that when you have a hope, you will show up, even when it seems like there's no use for you to show up? change, but he keeps coming. Anybody know sometime you got to keep on coming and you got to keep on hoping. There's a scripture that said the race is not given to the swift nor the battle to the strong, but those that endure to the end, the same shall be saved. Sometimes you got to hold out and sometimes you got to hold on. Here he is, consistent in his coming. Galatians said, be not weary in your well-doing, for in due season you shall reap. If you faint not, when you press your way, it's well-doing. When you come to prayer, it's well-doing. When you lay on your face all night long, it's well-doing. When you fast, it's well-doing. When you keep believing, it's well-doing. When you keep trusting, it's well-doing. I wonder if anybody here found out because you didn't quit, you didn't throw in the towel, and after a while, the Lord said, I got to open up the windows of heaven and pour around a blessing. She might not deserve it, but she's been doing well, so much so, I got to give her a new season, a new season. Somebody give God praise. Here now, the man spoke of the system in which he could obtain the blessing in the place. But Isaiah said, remember not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I'm going to do a new thing. I'm going to spring forth. It is after the man speaks to his situation and to the system that Jesus now speaks to the man. But he doesn't just speak, he gives a command to the man. He said, rise, take up thy bed and walk. Somebody needs to know you may be down, but you can rise, take up your bed and walk. Not only does he command, but he speaks a word of completion. He uses 7 words, and what he said, take up thy bed, rise, and walk. Anybody know when Jesus speaks, it's already done. The man was healed before he got up. Not only does Jesus speak to the man's condition, but Jesus also completes the system. The system became old. He said, I'm going to do a new thing. And when I do it, don't remember the things of old. Don't remember the things of old. That's why if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. All things are passed away, and behold, all things become new. I can't remember my yesterday because I'm new. He did a new thing. I refuse to let the devil take me back to my past. Paul said, you better forget those things which are behind. He did a new thing. When he did a new thing, no more do you hear about the pool of Bethesda, because God did a new thing. The man, he was trying to get to the place, but Jesus was coming to the man. It's recorded here. What he's saying is you don't have to be at a certain place to be blessed by the God of glory. He was trying to show us with the woman at the well. He said, we got to come to this mountain to worship. But Jesus said,